Canelo Alvarez, the undisputed super middleweight champion, will face Jermell Charlo, the current WBC middleweight champion, in the first bout in a new 3-fight agreement that he signed with the PBC. There's a lot at stake in this fight, but there are a few key things to consider. To begin, Charlo will be competing in a weight class of 168 pounds for the very first time in his professional career. More crucial, though, is the fact that Jermell is set to compete for the first time in 1 year. Then there is the gentleman who is standing in the other corner. Canelo Alvarez is a formidable opponent in boxing and is often regarded as the finest fighter in the sport on a pound-for-pound basis at the present time. Even while it's true that some people say he's lost a step, it would be foolish to suppose that he isn't deserving of being called the favorite in this particular contest. Thus, keep watching this video to see why Canelo vs. Charlo will be one-sided. Canelo Alvarez will have the most success in this bout against Charlo. It makes sense for Alvarez to face Charlo for his second bout of this year, after Alvarez defeated Ryder in a match that went the distance in May. The Englishman said that Alvarez had seen his finest days in the past, and that viewpoint was shared by a number of commentators. However, if Alvarez is able to dismantle Charlo, a fighter has a significant amount of name recognition, then maybe some of those notions will go away. Charlo is one of the most vocal fighters, and his presence at the pay-per-view event will undoubtedly contribute to its development into a major one. In addition, Alvarez sought a dancing partner who could maybe be depicted as the antagonist, and who might bring out the fire in him in a similar way as Caleb Plant did when the two of them first met in November 2021. Because of all these factors, Charlo is an appealing choice to be the first fight in Alvarez's 3-bout pact with PBC. Alvarez will be given the role of prohibitive favorite, and one of the primary reasons for this, in addition to the fact that he is the far more experienced fighter, will be activity. Since Charlo successfully defended his championship against Castano in May 2022, he has only fought once. On the other side, Alvarez has competed 7 times throughout that time frame, and his opponents have included some of the very greatest fighters in the world. Given his previous exercise and Charlo's lack of it, Alvarez should be much sharper than Charlo, but Alvarez also has an evident edge in another respect. Although it's possible that Charlo has a larger natural frame, Alvarez has fought twice at 175 pounds, including once against Bivol in the same weight class only a year ago, and 7 times at 168 pounds. On the other hand, Charlo is still the WBC middleweight champion, even though he hasn't protected his title in over 1 year, and has never fought at a weight greater than 160 pounds. However, Charlo unquestionably boasts a phenomenal power jab, knockout power with both hands, and a patient attitude in the boxing arena, all of which contribute to his success. But Charlo has never even competed against a fighter in their top tier, much alone one of the all-time greats. Therefore, Charlo should be able to cause Alvarez problems with his jab and his boxing abilities if he's at his best despite his idleness. On the other hand, if Charlo isn't and Alvarez hasn't slid as many people say he has, then Canelo will get his way. It may seem straightforward, but Charlo can pull off the upset by playing to his greatest abilities and putting them to good use. In terms of height, he will have around a 4-inch advantage over Alvarez, and in terms of reach, he will have a 2-inch advantage. That bodes well for Charlo if he keeps Canelo off rhythm and prevents him from timing the right hand down the center, in addition to continually pumping his jab. In recent years, Charlo's biggest victory came in the year 2022 when he defeated Brian Castano, a competent and technically sound fighter who is almost the same size as Alvarez. During the bout, Charlo used his long jab to keep his opponent at a distance and set him up for powerful blows. Thus, Charlo will have a fair chance at a win that might define his career, if he can maintain his discipline and stay active throughout the fight. Canelo has received the support of Sean Porter, a seasoned boxing commentator who is also a former world champion in the welterweight division. Even if the 168-pound champion has exhibited some signs of weakness in his most recent battles, Porter is still anticipating that he would prevail over him when the two of them face off later this year. When you look at experience, when you look at the face that Canelo has been multi-dimensional throughout his career, you look at the fact that he has the work rate, stated Porter while speaking to Boxing Social. He added, "We're looking at a right hand from Jermell Charlo, and if that right hand doesn't hit between rounds 1 and 8, it most likely won't land at any point, and Canelo will win this fight." Due to the almost 1 year that's passed since Jermell Charlo's previous bout in May 2022, Eddie Hearn believes that Jermell Charlo will not be able to compete with Canelo Alvarez when they face one another in September. That amount of time out from the ring is too long for anybody to be competitive against a world-class boxer like Canelo, particularly when your most recent fight was a performance against Castano. Hearn believes that Canelo has shown himself worthy to take on any opponent he chooses. Therefore, he does not have an issue with him fighting the unbeaten Charlo, who was regarded to be among the sport's finest competitors until he had a 2-year layoff from boxing. According to Hearn, Charlo is the favorite to win the fight, but Badu Jack and Dimitri Bivol both still have a shot at being selected by Canelo. Hearn said that when he saw Charlo's appearance chatting to Demetrius Andrade on social media, it did not give the impression that Charlo was in form and ready to fight in the near future. Naturally, this does not imply that Charlo will not be able to get into peak form in the next weeks if he's devoted to the process and makes it through training camp without incurring an injury. Eddie Hearn also made the following statement: "I don't think he, Jermell, is on the radar, but who knows?" Adrian Broner has lately surprised everyone with a comment he made on the monumental fight that will take place between Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo. In a surprising turn of events that has many people in the boxing industry fascinated, Broner proclaimed his support for Charlo, despite the fact that the two are not known to have a close connection. He posted a poster of the impending battle on his Instagram account and added an unusual comment to it, which has fans and analysts bewildered and scratching their heads. He tweeted, "Me and Bra might not be the closest friends, but I'm betting with Charlo, so who wanna bet something?" This unexpected support from Broner to Charlo implies that he thinks he has what it takes to come out on top in the next fight. His public announcement not only functions as a vote of confidence towards Charlo, but it also functions as an open challenge to anybody who is ready to wager against his forecast. Fight Hype had the opportunity to speak with Jose Benavidez Sr. on a variety of topics, including the upcoming fight between Canelo and Charlo. He said, "To tell you the truth, I'm still trying to figure out what it all means. If I had to offer Jermell any words of wisdom, I would tell him to concentrate on his boxing abilities and try to get points rather than trying to get a knockout. Canelo is a difficult opponent to hit because of his strength, compact size, and quickness. I would strongly recommend to Jermell that he refrain from going toe-to-toe with him, and instead continue boxing him from a distance. It is possible that he will emerge victorious with a unanimity vote if he is successful in putting his plan into action." Charlo has had something to say about the situation in an interview, despite the fact that many people support Canelo. Charlo stated, "While Canelo is playing golf at the American Century Championship, his opponent is training hard. As can be seen on his social media platforms, Jermell is not letting up on his preparations. This is because, beside putting on weight, he's training with a high level of intensity to get himself into the best condition possible for the fight against Alvarez." Please share your predictions for the outcome of this fight in the comments section below. Canelo or Charlo, and why? And that wraps things up. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Please hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.